I want to unpack this idea that body game, the older you get, is more impressive. Now, I don't mean necessarily when you get old, but I am saying the older you are and you're in shape, the better life is. See, I'm 27. People my age are at the point now to where they're starting to dwindle, women and men. Most people I grew up with, most people I went to college with, went to school with, most of them look down bad. Most of them are not in shape. They may have certain things in life together. They may have a good career. They may have a good family. They may be married. They may be, locked in those areas. Can't look at them and tell that they take their body seriously, that they take themselves seriously. That's so unfortunate because they don't realize, y'all don't realize how much you're missing out on. Because I think of certain people and they got 3 kids, they got the wife, they got the great career, they're making 6 figures, but they are fat. They are chronically skinny, chronically obese, some of them morbidly obese. And it's like, don't you want to live life to the fullest potential? I kind of did it the opposite way. I got in shape and now things are coming in for me. Now things are starting to unfold for me in other areas. I got my body right first when I was confused, when I was lost in life. Last year, I was 26 years old last year. I'm lost, confused. I was making good money earlier in the year, but then that kind of dwindled away. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why is it that I can get this money, I can be locked in church, I can do all this, and I still just don't feel good about myself? I had a big problem with self-sabotaging myself, which I did. So I lost all the money I made. I lost all the progress I made and everything else. I stopped going to work, things of that nature. And I had a coming to myself moment. And I'm like, bro, something has to change. Something has to change. I didn't made money, that didn't work. I got locked in church with a community or whatever. I still felt like an outsider. I still felt like I wasn't really somebody I needed to be. I chose the mirror. I went to the mirror and I'm like, you're fat. You're overweight. That could be the problem with what's going on. Ever since I gotten in shape, although everything else could be improved, the fact that I am in shape, I no longer feel like, at 27 years old, I no longer feel like I'm lost in life. I have direction. I have routine. I have regiment. I have things going on in my life because I applied the same principles. Everything that I've done to get in shape, I'm now applying to finances. I'm now applying to social interactions. Once I got in shape, I now look at my peers around me that are around 26, 27, 25, 30. I stand out. Although you've done all of this, you've gotten the kids, you've gotten the wife, the career, money. That's normal. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's normal. People that's 26 and above, if you are in shape, you are out the ordinary. You are not common. You're unique. Even at the gym, I go around and there's not many people my age. Although they look like they work out, they're not in tip-top shape, right? You put a shirt on them and it's like, okay, you got an average physique. But me, like, you could tell with these veins coming through my chest, with my veins popping out of my, I'm starting to get veins in my abs and all this, right? You could tell that I take good care of my body. You could tell that I'm very disciplined. You could tell that I'm very regimented. And I put that towards everything else in my life. Now, me building my money back up is more precise, is more, purpose driven because I know how to apply systems to make money or to get a job or to actually lock in. As we get older, everything gets harder because of our age. If you're not in shape, the people I know that aren't in shape, they're going to get 30, 32, 35, 40, 50. Their back's going to start hurting. They're going to start having mental problems if they're not taking care of themselves. They're going to start developing conditions if they're not taking care of their body, if they're eating horribly. They got 3 kids. They got kids, wives. It's stressful. That stuff is not easy. Raising kids isn't easy. Going to work, balancing a high-figure job, balancing life, balancing social, balancing church, balancing everything you got to go through isn't easy if you're not in shape. I'll have a more easier time putting on to all the cups that I have to deal with because I have higher energy. People will deal with me better. People will see me in a different light if I'm 40 with a top tier physique. Performance is better. People look at you differently and better. Most people my age, Most people I grew up with, no matter how much I may make these videos and it may or may not reach them, they will live a harder life than they need to live because they cannot go to the gym or exercise in any way they want to and actually get in shape and actually be a little healthier. If the shoe fits, it fits. I don't really care if you think I'm talking about you. I'm trying to motivate you to get in shape because you could be the full package. How do you have everything at 27, 28, 29, 30? How do you have everything but being in shape? I'll tell you a story before I get up out of here. I was working out today. Today was push day. I just finished my shoulder exercise, and this man next to me on his machine or whatever started talking to me. This guy is about to enter, or this man is about to enter a powerlifting competition for squatting and stuff like that at 73 years old. He started the conversation with, "You want to squat that?" I looked at what he was squatting. I was like, hell no. Because I'm not even a squatter in the first place. And I'm damn sure not going to squat that. So, no. And he started telling me about all of his things that he goes, all the things he's been through in his life and how all the injuries he's been going on with and everything, but he still is not making excuses and he's still getting his body right and he's still lifting heavy. He claims he's about to break a world record for his age group in squatting. And I'm like, you know what? Hell yeah, that's what I want to be when I'm 73. Still locked in, still lifting weights. The older you get, body game is better. Imagine you being 73 years old. Imagine you being 55, 45. And you look good. Me personally, I feel like being in top tier shape at 45 means way more than 25 because it's harder to do literally. There's this guy that is a bodybuilder on Instagram. I showed him to my dad so he can get locked in. He's like 70, late 60s, early 70s, and he looks better than me. He looks better than me. That's how I'm trying to be. I ain't trying to be 70 and decrepit and in wheelchairs and my back bent and I'm hunched over and everything. I'm trying to be walking strong because I've seen him do it. I know it's possible. The older you get, because people have a horrible mindset. People have the mindset of the older I get, the less I have time for athletics. The less time I have for working out, the less it matters. Don't get me started on how you set an example for your kids. Don't you want to be that ripped mother, that ripped father where the kids can look at you and be like, yeah, I want to be like my dad. I want to be like my mama. I'm trying to follow in the footsteps of my parents because they take their body seriously. Instead of me going out to parties and stuff at 15, 16, I'm trying to figure out where the GNC is so I can get my shakes with my mama and get to bed early so I can get up and have my... That's how my kids are going to be. I'm going to let my kids be kids. But I'm telling you right now, my kids will be locked in the gym before they're even teenagers. Because I know how it is to have that foundation. The older you get, the more precious your body is and the more precious your time is. Do you want to be 30 plus, 40 plus, out of shape, huffing and puffing, health issues? Or do you want to be 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, and people looking at you like, dang, he look good? It's up to you. Make the decision.